memory of past lifetimes weighs on you, creating doubt on your ability to embrace your inner power in this lifetime. These past experiences may have demanded the ultimate sacrifice, your life, for daring to embody your authentic self. This creates a subconscious fear of unveiling your true self to the world for fear that you might become a martyr once again. You've also experienced the pain of isolation, of being cast out from your family and tribe. And so you're hesitant to step into your power. You're hesitant to be different than the rest of the people around you because you don't want to lose that tribe connection, or you don't want to be executed for being different. Well, the society that we live in today is a different time. I don't worry too much about being executed for what I believe in. And rejection by other people, you just have to get to the point where you're independent of the good opinion of other people. In other words, what other people think of you is none of your business. And that's one of the tools you can use to get around the martyr's echo. And this core block impacts all aspects of your life. Lightworker block number 2, the power paradox. This block can stem from errors in judgment made in a past life regarding power, resulting in a struggle to forgive oneself for those mistakes. So you made a mistake then, you recognize it, and you're hesitant to gain or regain and utilize your power in this life. Light workers generally shun power due to their apprehension of it leading to corruption. And then connected with the martyr's echo, there's a deep-seated fear that wielding power will lead to persecution. However, it's time for light workers to harness power to create positive change in the world, aiding in others' healing, awakening, and shift in consciousness. Lightworker block number 3, adversity to 3D living. I'm seeing this everywhere in my conversations with clients. The 3D world feels uncomfortable for light workers. It is difficult to integrate the 3D reality with a 5D vibration. 5D is love. And it is tough. It is tough. It's hard to pull love into the field when the field is already full of negativity or shock, panic, and trauma and so forth. Because you are deeply attuned to energy, you're sometimes overwhelmed by the immense suffering in this world, prompting a desire to transcend it, get out of it. A lot of light workers I'm seeing, a lot of indigo souls, light workers, starseeds, empaths, sensitives, crystals are developing addictions because of this. Addictions to alcohol, addictions to drugs, addictions to binging Netflix rather than reading spiritual material or getting out in the woods. So or the biggest addiction of all is this thing right here, your iPhone or your Samsung or whatever it is you have. So we're going after dopamine hits on that instead of being in this 3D world because it's so painful. Your purpose isn't to escape the physical realm, but to bring light within you into this reality. You are here to heal, reintegrate your fragmented selves. That's the first step. Heal yourself, pull the fragments of you back into here and get that field intact and get things moving correctly. Don't be distracted by diversions. There's a thing called distractor implants that I clear quite frequently, and those are just merely put in your field to take your attention from what's really true and get it focused on what's not true, so you never move forward in your life.
Propaganda that I come up with for myself.
4, suffocated by sensitivity. Your gifts of heightened sensitive and empathic abilities can feel like such a burden that it feels like you are suffocating with overwhelming energy. Through my journey, I mentioned that nobody could tell me what the hell was going on. And what was going on, what I figured out later was I was an empath, and I was a super empath. And I would walk into a room where there had been a fight just the moment before I walked in, and everybody got angry. Especially this would happen in corporate America in boardroom meetings and that kind of stuff. And everybody would be angry, and I would walk into that room, and good of it. That's being suffocated by sensitivity. You're not feeling you, you're feeling those around you. Light workers may struggle to differentiate between their own feelings and those of others. Being around negative or emotionally charged people can be physically and emotionally draining, resulting in isolation in an attempt to protect yourself. And this is very common with people in the medical profession, nurses, doctors. I have a lot of them as clients. And hospitals are really, really, really tough places because of all the suffering that goes on there. Also for teachers are starting to show this. I have a lot of teachers as well. They're starting to show this as well because of the children that they have to deal with and all the different states and conditions that they're now in. So this is tough. Suffocated by sensitivity is a big one. And then stress and emotional turmoil from absorbing others' energies can manifest in physical symptoms like headaches, fatigue, or even chronic illness. Lightworker block number 5, imposter syndrome. Light workers can live in a constant fear of being, quote, found out, unquote, or exposed as a fraud if they step out with their gifts because they are still healing themselves. The thought, why would anyone want to heal through me, runs through your head constantly. You often doubt your own abilities and believe that you're not good enough to share your gifts with the world. There is a fear that you might inadvertently harm rather than assist those you aim to support. And you will always be healing. You will always be healing. In this world, this is fact. But the time to step out with your gifts is now. I've gone through almost 7 years of training, 12 years of practice, and I am still healing. Now, I am better than I have ever been, but I'm still healing. I had to do a piece the other day I did a teaching piece with a group I lead, and it was on spiritual amnesia. And I have it set up so if I do something for a client that needs that protocol and I need it, I also receive those codes and get the healing myself. That way I keep progressing without having to stop and work on myself. And I did this spiritual amnesia protocol on this group in the training, and I needed it, and I went down for the count. On Saturday and Sunday, I couldn't get out of bed, and it shocked me. But you'll always be healing. You always need something. You'll get way past the point of the intensity of it, and it'll be minor and tweaks here and there. But in this world, we are being bombarded all the time with negative energy, and it's always good to get on like a maintenance program as well, to keep that cleared out daily. Lightworker block number 6, obstructing infinite possibilities. We're basically talking about miracles here. Miracles are your natural state of being, but are often blocked by negative thought patterns, doubts, and limiting beliefs. When your thoughts, words, and emotions are not in vibrational alignment with each other, a frequency of discord is created, resulting in missed manifestations. Society reinforces a mindset of limitation, making it challenging to tap into the full spectrum of infinite possibilities that exist beyond these societal constructs. Past traumas and unresolved emotional wounds can create energetic barriers that hinder the flow of miraculous experiences, keeping you trapped in cycles of struggle and limitation. So what this block, when this gets cleared, what this is about is observing and allowing miracles for yourself and for your clients if you're in the healing arts, or miracles for yourself or for your family and people around you. Miracles happen every day. I see them every day, and they are remarkable to behold. It never ceases to amaze me, the jumps and leaps that people can make, and it's just nothing. It is all miraculous. But we got to get out our own way and accept that we're worthy of those miracles, worthy of them for ourselves, and worthy to provide them to our client base if that's who we're working with. Lightworker block number 7, the prosperity prison. beliefs about money and spirituality begin to collide, creating an invisible prison of beliefs that actually end up repelling money. Light workers intellectually understand that money is energy, but struggle to integrate this idea into their prosperity consciousness, resulting in a life of lack and scarcity. You have been conditioned to believe you cannot be spiritual and wealthy. This limiting belief prevents you from experiencing abundance. I have said this a couple times during this event. Life is not a zero-sum game. One of the things I came to a realization of when I really got deep into my practice is the sheer volume of money and wealth that exists in this world. And if you provide value, you get a share of that. But it's an energy exchange. So you provide value, you get some money, and then you can use that money to do things with and help your family and put a roof over your head and things like that. It is not a sin. It is not a negative to provide for yourself. And what you gave to that person in return is so valuable, was worth so much more than the money that you charged. It's actually incredible to look at life from that perspective. You know, I look at all the money I spent on my healing and all my training and all that kind of stuff. And I'll tell you what, if I knew then what I know now, they could have charged me $1 million and I would have found a way to pay it because of the value I've gotten. It literally gave me my life back. You can't put a value on that. So we need you to give up the belief that being spiritual and wealthy is a bad thing. It's a good thing. You need to thrive, not struggle. Light workers have been told they shouldn't charge for their gifts. They should give their gifts away for free, keeping them locked in the 3D matrix of a job they can't stand just so they can pay the bills. It is time to live in the prosperity vortex and claim the abundance that is your birthright. Additional light worker blocks, restricted sovereignty. That's basically where you do not have dominion over your own field. Somebody else, you're a subject of somebody else. You're living out somebody else's dream, somebody else's reality. And I find this in a lot more people than I'd like to admit. They just don't even have control over their own energy field. And then number 9 is indecisiveness, which is basically a disconnection from source, a disconnection from your appropriate high self. Number 10 is betrayal wounds, where you've been betrayed or you feel betrayed, and then that manifests in your reality, and then that builds, and then the next time you get betrayed. You lose a job, you lose a spouse, you lose a relationship, you lose something of value, you lose any number of things can trigger a betrayal wound. And when we get into that mode, we start playing small. You know, well, it's just going to happen again. Not true. You take that lesson, learn from it, move forward. Number 11 is intellectual stagnation. When you're green, you grow. When you're ripe, you rot. One of my mentors used to tell me. And what that basically means is you need to be learning all the time. You can see by my bookshelves back here and all the way down this wall, I am learning. I will have 5-6 books going at a time, reading them because I have ADD, but I use it as a skill set. It's not a disease. And I read multiple books all the time. I'm always expanding my knowledge. I'm always expanding my wisdom, trying to get better. So it's in this world, it's really, really easy to get stuck in intellectual stagnation because we think, well, made it through school, that's all there is to it. Not in this world. This is a really fast-moving environment. You got to be able to take it on. Number 12 is a self-worth deficiency. The vast majority of indigos, starseeds, light workers, empaths have a problem with self-love, and they've been conditioned into that. It's not something they walked in here with, but you have to love yourself first, and then give from the excess to others and love others. So if you the most profound meditation I ever had was, I came out of it and the message was, you can't give away what you don't have. You can't give away what you don't have. If I don't have oranges, I can't give oranges to somebody. If I don't have financial strength, I can't give money to somebody. If I don't have health, I can't be of service. If I don't have love, which is the most important energy of all, I cannot love my clients the way they need to be taken care of. So that self-worth deficiency has got to be dealt with if you're going to be successful. And that comes from a belief that you're not worthy of your greatness. Each one of you has that dharma I talked about. And that is a tremendous gift to this reality, and you need to own it. All right, those are the 12 light worker blocks. Now let's do some clearing. Anybody ready for this? Oh, I love the enthusiasm. I love it. All right, this is another one that's unique. I have never done this one in public either. And this one is for a different reason. It's because I just came up with it a few weeks ago. I spent a weekend in my office going through all my manuals, looking for everything that can block or throttle or shut down your ability to manifest. So it's clear barriers to your ability to manifest. And basically what this is going to be doing is activating your reservoir of energy and abundance. They go hand in hand. If you've got a broken or shattered cracked field, energy and flow does not occur. So you have your physical vitality is gone, and your ability to create a financial vitality is gone. In a proper functioning field, flow is always there. So you always have access to energy, and then you can use that energy to convert it into financial vitality. So, let me stop this. I'll show you. This is a protocol. This is the longest one I have ever created. It is 42 pages of things that can go wrong or wonky, and the body mind feel complex around manifestation. And I'll give you the summary of it. I'm not going to read 42 pages to you. Basically what this does is it resolves the following. The degree to which your feelings and the expression of your feelings can be broadcast to the Creator and upon the creative ethers to assist in the prayer and manifestation process. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that because this is important for you to understand the purpose of this. It is about up-leveling, increasing, maximizing the degree to which your feelings and the expression of your feelings can be broadcast to the Creator and upon the creative ethers to assist in the prayer and manifestation process. All right, let's get ready. Feet flat on the floor. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Here we go. 1, 4, 3, 3, 3. Intensify, magnify. And as you're breathing, what I want you to do is hold the intention that you will choose love and let go of everything that no longer serves you. All the beliefs, all the mindsets, all the blocks to manifestation, anything you're holding on to, you're willing to let go of. Two, 8, 7, 7, 5, intensify, magnify. 3, 6, 1, 8, intensify, magnify. 34% there. It's 42 pages. It's going to take some breathing here. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You will choose love and let go of everything that no longer serves you. $35, $40, $45, $50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 71, 2, 3, 4, 74% there, 10, 5, 7, 8, 10, 5, magnify. There we go. Eight, 7, 6, 2, and 10, 5, magnify. 75, 80, 85, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 142, 857, 142, anchor lock seal. Thank you, creator of all that is. Wow. Oh my God. Drink some water. That's a lot of energy to move. All right. Cool. You might go through some, like we've talked about, a little bit of a healing crisis, maybe. But for the most part, this is just knocking everything out of the way. Gets in the way. Beliefs, that kind of stuff. It's usually stuff that's pretty easy to let go. So, watch your manifestation. Watch your abundance. Watch everything about your life begin to increase as a result of that. Your ability to even dream will increase. Bigger dreams. Play a bigger game. Have a bigger impact. Touch more people. Love more people. Share more of yourself with this reality. That's the kind of stuff I created that for. All right. Reminder, you may go through a healing crisis, temporary worsening of symptoms. You may experience something immediately or up to 2 to 3 days later. At 42 pages, it'll probably take you a good 2 weeks to move through this on average. So instead of up to 2 or 3 days later, it may be 14 days. Don't fret. Just remember it's declaring you're golden. Drink more water. And then we've already talked about the symptoms being flu-like, achy, tired, fatigued, like that spiritual amnesia I did on myself. I was in bed Saturday and Sunday. And that's okay, because that's when you heal. When you sleep is when you heal. So if you feel tired or fatigued or need to take a nap, do it. Do it. And let the healing do its thing. Drink extra water, rest, practice self-compassion, spend as much time in nature, and this will pass, and then on the other side is a brand new you. All right, let's talk about what we just cleared. Manifestation. How does it work? How do you pull it off? How do you accomplish it? Well, I'm going to give you a story. See that TP? One of my mentors, one of my teachers, is Native American, and I'm so blessed to have him so close to me. He's only 40 or 50 miles down the road out in Marysville, and Beth and I go out there and see him as often as we can. Not enough. I wish I had more time. Wish he had more time, but he's traveling around teaching. But he has what's called the Buffalo Prayer Dance that goes on every year, and we get together and we dance and we sing and we camp, and we have bonfires that we dance around, and we do sweat lodges and things of that nature. And then we do TP we do TP ceremonies, a TP ceremony and a TP or pipes. We do a pipe ceremony, which is just to better feel the creator and that kind of stuff. So last time Beth and I were out there, I was in the front row. This TP that he has is as big as my house. It's unbelievable. You can fit hundreds of people in there. And we built a fire in the middle with a stone ring around it. Had the fire going. And then we circle around, and I was sitting in the front row closest to the fire. And I looked across from me, and there was this little boy. He was probably 5 or 6 years old. And he had the most beautiful stuffed buffalo that I have ever seen. I'm really into buffaloes. I love buffaloes. I think they're magnificent animals. And we just live a few miles from a buffalo park. Beth and I go out there and hike and look at the buffaloes and quite frequently. Anyway, he's sitting over there and he's got this stuffed buffalo, and I said, "Oh my God, I want that stuffed buffalo. I want that buffalo." Now, I'm not going to go over ripping it out of the kid's hands, but I thought maybe I could buy it from him, or at least tell me where you got it. It was that gorgeous of a buffalo. So we went about, we had the pipe ceremony, we went about our day, we did some more dancing, and it got away from me. I was like, we left, and I didn't get to see the kid and his family. I was going to ask his parents where he got the buffalo and that kind of stuff, but I didn't have a chance. And Beth and I are going about our, we just go back to work and start doing what we do. And Wednesday night we decided to go out to dinner, and I still had that buffalo on my mind. And we come out of a restaurant in Grove City, a little Mexican-Italian restaurant, odd combination, but that's his family heritage, the owners. And we come out of the restaurant, and I see a sign on the sidewalk. It says thrift store. And I said, "Hey, let's go check this out. I didn't know this was here. Let's go see what's up." And so we walked on down to the thrift store, walked in. Sitting in the front of the store was a wire bin, and it's about 4 feet tall by about 2, maybe 3 feet wide each way, 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. It makes a square. So I go, it was full of stuffed animals. So I'm going, "Hey, maybe there's a buffalo in here." So I start digging, throwing stuff out. I said, "Here, hold these." I gave a bunch of the animals to Beth. "Hold these so I can get further down the bottom." And I get down the bottom, and there it was. That buffalo, exactly like the one that little boy had in the teepee at the pipe ceremony that I set my desires on. Right here it is. This is it. This is my buffalo. Isn't that the badassest buffalo you've ever seen? That is cool. Rare. I've never seen another one. This was at the bottom of a thrift store toy bin. A thrift store I'd never been in is at the bottom of a bin. 3 days after I declared to the universe, I want that buffalo. And I keep it on my shelf. Cost me $3. And it's in great condition. He's got a little horn, it's a little floppy, but I love him anyway. That's how manifestation works, folks. Set your eyes, set your intention, set your desire on what it is you want, and let the universe deliver it. You do not have to make it happen. I didn't make that happen. I didn't make the thrift store show up. I didn't make that buffalo at the bottom of the bin or anything like that. I made it welcomed. I welcomed it. I was in gratitude. I knew someday I would get that buffalo, and it showed up. And I didn't have to make it happen. I got to make it welcomed. And that's the way you need to live your life. Everything you want, all your heart's desires. You don't have to make it happen. You have to take action. Like I had to walk into that store. I had to dig through the bin. I had to pay $2 or $3 at the counter to get it and walk out the door with it. But I welcomed it. I was grateful for it. And I put emotion into my desire. That's how manifestation works. And now with this clearing, watch what happens. Put your heart on something. Set an intention for your world, for your life. And let the universe deliver it, and you welcome it. But you still gotta take action of some sort somehow. So that's how manifestation works. Alright, let's talk about the ultimate reason you're here. Your purpose, your mission, your calling. You don't find your mission finds you. There's an engagement buried in all of us. And I've told you about my personal story about how I got into the healing arts to heal myself. And then the bank, or I was in the information technology department, and it was standard process of procedure every 5 years. They forced you to take a sabbatical of 6 months. You had to go off, stay out of the office. That way, if you had programmed anything into the system, they would find it. It would pop to the surface. Like I get a quarter of a penny of every deposit made. But there's been movies made about that kind of stuff. But that's the reason for the sabbatical. And that's when I started playing with all this training I had. And then 12 years later, as they say, the rest is history. And that's the way you'll probably find your mission or your purpose or your calling. You need to take an interest. You need to pay attention to what you take an interest in. So if something draws your attention, a book does, read it. If a movie draws your attention, watch it. If a TV series really enthralls you, like The Wheel of Time on Prime, I would recommend a lot of you watch that because it's pretty freaking amazing and it's got a lot of truth in it. And other things that are out there. Just pay attention to what you're drawn to. And then just take the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step, even though you can't see the whole staircase. Trust your gut. And then some way, somehow, it opens up, and then you'll be like me, and you'll turn around and look back and see that every step of the way you were guided, and now you're living your mission and your purpose. And that's really the way it works. If I came to you and I told you your mission, it would freak you out. It would freak you out. I'm honest with you on that one. You would lose your mind. If somebody came into me when I was sitting in corporate America in my big, fluffy executive chair, get past my secretary, come in and sit across the desk from me, and they would say, someday you're going to be a vibrational healer, I would immediately call security and say, get out of my office, because I don't know what a vibrational healer is. I had no clue. I didn't know that was a thing. So your mission doesn't get revealed to you in one fell swoop. So let me give you some clues, all right? So your mission / purpose / calling, those are all interchangeable to me, is multifaceted. Your purpose is the medium that you use to engage with this creation. That's why you came here. You set something up for yourself, some form of contribution that you set up ultimately, okay? But it is the medium that you use to engage with this creation. It's why you're here. You're not going to have just one purpose. One of my purposes earlier in my life was to stop the cycle of physical abuse in my family of origin, and that stopped with me. I was beaten as a kid. I never laid a hand on any of my children. Never had to. I stopped the cycle of abuse. And so you got smaller purposes as you grow, as you get older, and then one day the big one pops up, right? So you're not just going to have one. And so what every soul on earth wants is their own power. Okay, so I'm giving you some inside baseball information here. Every person on this planet wants their own power, whether they know it or not, because it's been taken from us. We're controlled at some level by the powers that be, by false narratives, by social conditioning, on and on and on, just like I talked about on day one. Your power is central and innate to your purpose because it gives you the liberation and the freedom and even the joy to move forward and to step fully into your purpose and your power. And you get that through healing. Healing is what facilitates the return of your power. So this is all connected. You need to heal, take care of yourself first, love yourself first, and then begin to move into your calling. So here are some clues to discover your mission or purpose. These are some things you can watch out for so you get some aha moments. Look for anywhere there is an outdated or unhealthy model of reality. We have several. We have a banking system that is controlled by a cartel. We have a political system that is an absolute shitstorm. We have a medical system that has fallen apart at the edges. So there's a lot of unhealthy models of reality out here. Look there. That may be where you're directed. So look for anywhere where there's an outdated or unhealthy model. It's very important for you to be able to tune in with yourself and see where your life force feels called. And And that's what I mentioned earlier where I said, you're in Barnes & Noble and you see a book on spiritual alchemy or something of that nature, and you're drawn to it. You just zero in on that book. That's a sign you need to read that book. And then the television programs or the movies you watch, you're just drawn to it. That's a sign you need to watch that, because there is some truth in most of these programs nowadays. So it's important for you to be able to feel and tell where your life force is being drawn. And then ultimately, when you think you might have it, you have to ask the question, does your calling align with positive solutions that others would benefit from? The universe will support you in whatever you choose, whatever you've set up for yourself. Or if you change your mind and decide to do something else, that's fine too. And the universe will support you, but it has to be a positive solution. The universe is not interested in negative solutions. We got those everywhere now. So it has to be a solution that benefits other people in some form or fashion. Okay. And then not everything that we feel called to do will feel good or be easy. That's an important one. It's not going to be all wine and roses and unicorns and rainbows. Sometimes maybe your mission, your purpose, or calling is in a darker area that you need to bring light to. So many of us may be called to be spiritual warriors and shed light on the darkest areas of this reality. Human trafficking. That's an example. I know I have a friend of mine who his focus is on human trafficking. He works every day on that situation. And he's made some tremendous progress in it. But not everything we feel called to will feel good. Keep that in mind. The results will be good. It'll be positive for others. But it may make you uncomfortable. And that's okay, because you're engineered for that and you have the power to pull it off. Life force does not care if something feels good or bad. It goes wherever it feels called. So be open. Be open. To what you get called to, what you get drawn to, what you get pulled into. That just may be your very reason for being here, even though it can be dark. And it's your job to bring the light to it. All right, I wanted to take a minute here, and I wanted everybody to put your feet flat on the floor. We're going to do a little incantation, if you will, just to kind of reset for a moment, because we've been processing our behinds off since that clearing, and then I hit you with the mission and purpose, and I could feel the energy move up, get a little bit shaky around that. So I just want to reset things here. So I want you to repeat after me. I am about to walk into the most abundant, balanced, wealthy, and successful period of my life. I naturally attract good fortune, and I am wealthy in more ways than one. I give myself permission to prosper, and I have the power to build the life that I desire. Take a deep breath.